Hi, welcome to Bad Music Taste and Other Ways to Ruin Your Life. My name is Dominic.
And my name is Sam.
First things first, we would like to wish Sam a very happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We have 2 fun facts for you. Mine is about Walmart.
And mine is about red lights.
When a hurricane is expected, the top-selling items at Walmart are strawberry Pop-Tarts and beer.
And the average person will spend 6 months of their life waiting for red lights to turn green.
Sam, would you please introduce our guest today?
Why, of course, Dominic. Today our guest is Mike Park of Skankin Pickle, the Bruce Lee Band, and Asian Man Records. We are so glad that he's on the show today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
No problem.
Yeah. So, you've played guitar and saxophone in a lot of amazing ska punk bands. Were you into ska punk before you started playing these instruments, or were you playing these instruments and just kind of fell into the scene?
I played saxophone. I started in grade school, in 5th grade. And then in the 80s, there was the second wave of ska, which came from the UK. So bands like Madness and the Specials, the English Beat. And I didn't really know it was ska, but I knew that Madness had a saxophone player, and so did the English Beat. So during band class, I would try to learn the parts. And then my senior year, some people wanted to start a band, and so I said, I play saxophone. And so I was lucky that I happened to play the instrument that they needed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, obviously ska is not as popular as it was in the mid-90s. But would you consider ska to be fading out of the music industry, or do you expect a fourth wave?
It's hard to say because it's never really left me. I've been listening to it for so long, for 35 years of listening to ska. But it's never been a concern of whether it's been popularized. I think the third wave, the popularization of ska in the third wave actually destroyed the ska scene, because what happens whenever you oversaturate a sound, everybody wants to do it. So you had every kid in high school who was in the marching band started a ska band. So you just had overkill of so many bad bands, and it just became a circus. And that's what happens to any kind of commodity. When you oversaturate something, it happens to ska. So I'm hoping actually it stays kind of on the underground, and the bands that do form playing the style of ska will do it because they really love it, instead of like trying to jump on a fad or a craze.
Yeah, like I feel like that's kind of how it was with pop artists. They all just kind of jumped on because it's what was on the radio and it's what people like to listen to. Whereas when it's kind of smaller and, like you said, underground, it feels more personal.
Like
Exactly.
it's not supposed to be in the mainstream. It's meant to be our little thing. It's not it's not meant to be in Target commercials. It's something you can dance around to at a 500-person capacity club.
Exactly, but I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'd be a hypocrite if I would say that if Target did offer me an opportunity to have my music on, I would probably say yes.
Yeah.
So, obviously, owning a record label has got its ups and downs. For all the vinyl nerds like myself, hoping to one day start a label, what are some of the positives of owning a label and some of the not so positives? And is it even economically viable to run a label in the age of the internet?
I really think it's tough these days. The only reason I'm able to do it is because I've been doing it so long. We have such a strong back catalog. But for people who want to start a new label from scratch, I think it's a little more difficult just because the times have changed. So most of the people that do start labels, I tell them just do it for fun. And if you happen to make money, great. But if you don't, remember why you started, and that's to have fun. And I think that's the case in most situations. People who do start labels now, especially young people, they do it because they want to have fun and they want to be part of music scene. And then every so often you get lucky and you actually make some money.
Yeah, I agree because, like, I think digital music is cool because it gives everybody more access to music, and I think that's something that our world needs. But I've always loved the feeling of opening a new record. Like, I got 2 new records for my birthday today, and like just peeling the plastic off was the most satisfying feeling.
What'd you get?
Okay, so I'm a little bit into like alternative, and I even lean into like a little bit of like rap. So I got Everybody's Everything by Lil Peep, if you know who that is. And,
I do not.
and then an album called Hotel Diablo by Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay, I've heard that name, but I'm not familiar with it. But that's great. That's great. Getting music, I support any kind of music.
Yeah. So with everything going on in our world right now and the activism that is being brought to light, do you ever plan on organizing a second Ska Against Racism tour? Because I think it was a really powerful movement.
You know, that question's been brought up so much in the last few weeks, and the problem is I just have physically I can't do it. I'm too old. I don't have time because I have children your age.
Yeah.
Imagine if your father just left for 2 months. I just can't do it. I have too many responsibilities now. So I would love to help nurture someone who has the ambition to do something like that. But me physically doing it, I would not be able to do it. But I would definitely be up for mentoring somebody who would like to try.
Yeah.
So, over the past few years, a couple of your bands have gotten back together, such as the Bruce Lee Band and the Chinkis. Did you have an itch to play music with these bands again, or is there a different reason?
So those bands are strictly side projects. The only real band that I consider like being young and going to practice like 3 times a week, that was Skankin Pickle. Like, I was 19 when we started, and we rehearsed 2 or 3 times a week, and we hung out together, and it was a real band. Like the Bruce Lee Band, it was just a side project. I did it with Less Than Jake, the first record. Second record I did with RX Bandits, and now I've had a consistent lineup using my friend Jeff Rosenstock and Kevin Higuchi on drums and some other friends. But we only do that just kind of as a fun project to record some of my songs and then play a couple shows. And we usually do that every couple years, live shows, and then record music maybe every 5 years. And the Chinkis, that was very random. We haven't done anything for 18 years. And it was Steve Choi. He contacted me and said he's been working on some Ska Punk songs. And we weren't even sure we were going to call it the Chinkis. And so I went down. I live in Northern California. I went down to Southern California and recorded my vocals. And then after we kind of listened to the rough drafts, we thought, you know, this sounds like the Chinkis. Let's just call it the Chinkis.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes people forget the fun in music and that everybody who makes music are normal people. You know, they all started just going to school and growing up because I feel like idolization is really cool because that inspires a lot of people, but they often forget the fact that they're humans too.
Yeah, exactly. That's you hit it right on the nose. We did the project, the Chinkis project, especially just for fun. I don't even know if we'll ever play a show again, but at least the fact that we were able to make some music together, especially during the coincidence of the timing of the record, because we are a political band. I think it came out at a great time in terms of like bringing a positive message and hope through the songs. So I'm really excited about that, even though it's only 4 songs. It's still something I'm really proud of.
Yeah. So my final question for you is Asian Man Records has put out some incredible albums from great artists, but what have been some of your favorite records to come out on the label?
So my favorite record, and I've said this often in interviews when asked this question, the Alkaline Trio's first album, God Damn It, is my favorite record, and I'm not shy about saying that. It's kind of like children. It's hard to pick your favorite, but with the label, this is my favorite record. Alkaline Trio, God Damn It, just such a good record. They recorded it for only $1,000, which is just such a meager sum for such a classic record. And I would say a good year, it just sat in my CD player, and as soon as I got to work, I'd push play, and would probably push play 3 or 4 times throughout the day.
Yeah.
That's all that's all the questions
That's
I
all we
have.
had.
Yeah.
That was great. Thanks so much. I have a question for you guys, though. How did
Okay.
you guys get into ska?
Well, Dominic kind of, I mean, I'll let him like explain most of his background, but he kind of got into it when he was younger, and then we met about a year ago in school, and he kind of started introducing me to more music because I was into like alternative and a little bit more like classic rock, and he kind of introduced me to like branching out. So I've been learning a lot as we went along with interviewing people.
Dominic, did your father get you into ska?
He did, actually. The first, I guess, real ska band that I got into, and they're now my all-time favorite band, was Less Than Jake. And afterwards, I was like, "Whoa, what is this? Like, that's Ska Punk." And then I like Ska Punk, and I'm like, "Oh, well, this band," and then it stretched into like Real Big Fish, Skankin Pickle, and bands like that, like Goldfinger.
Wow. And now, second question for you guys: have you guys been able to go to any ska shows live?
I haven't.
Okay.
The last show that I saw before everything happened was the Real Big Fish, and
That's great.
I was supposed to see Goldfinger. Didn't work out. Supposed to see Less Than Jake. Had all these great shows lined up, and then everything happened.
Dominic, when you went to see Real Big Fish, were you in the pit dancing?
I went with my friend Peyton, and we just went right up to the front. And it's just like it's a lot of jumping. There wasn't too much like actual like moshing per se. But like we tried to avoid that. Like,
but you lasted the whole show right up front?
Right up front, yeah.
Wow,
and
that's great. That's great.
It was this festival called Frozen Harbor Festival. We caught like the last 3 bands. It was the bands we caught were Kill Lincoln, the Pie Tasters, and Real Big Fish. So that
all
was
great bands.
Yeah, it was an amazing show.
That's great. And Samantha, hopefully you'll be able to get to see some shows next year.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of my like pop punk bands that I listen to. Like I think the last concert, because I had plans to go to a couple, like in May. But I think the last concert I went to was November, which was a band called Water Parks.
Okay, I'm not familiar, but
yeah, that was fun.
Now, when you go to a pop punk show, Samantha, are you right up front?
That concert was a sold out show. There was way too many people. So, and I was behind the 6-foot guy. It was not fun because I'm like 4'9". I'm not even 5 foot, so that didn't work out. But I stood on this little barrier that was cut off from the VIP and the general admission section, and I was like above everybody. So I was like 3 rows of people back. So it was good for being a sold out show.
Nice. What venue do you guys go to?
But Baltimore Soundstage a lot.
Yeah, most often.
Rams Head Live. I would
Fillmore.
The Fillmore, the Auto Bar. I would say the Soundstage is probably my favorite.
Is Rams Head Live in Silver Springs?
No, that's in like downtown Baltimore.
Where's Silver Springs? Is that close?
It's like an hour away.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember where I've played in Baltimore, and I can't remember the name. For some reason, I'm thinking Silver Springs, and I don't know why. But I played the Auto Bar, I know for sure. Many years ago.
I've seen a lot of great bands there. A lot of great bands.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
I saw my favorite band for the first time at Soundstage, which was a band called Palais Royale, and that was pretty cool. That's why that venue will always be special to me.
Oh, that's very cool. I'm so glad to have young people like yourselves going to see live music. And I bet both of your parents are super supportive and love music too. So
Yeah.
that's very cool. Very cool. You guys, I'm very proud of you for doing this podcast, and I
Thank you.
hope you guys have much success in the future.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
All right. We will hopefully meet whenever I come tour the East Coast. I hope you guys will come see me play.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, let's say goodbye, and we'll see each other soon in the future.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye bye.